Most people think identity is something you discover, something hidden inside yourself, something waiting to be found. I disagree. I think identity is something you build, not through what you believe, not through what you intend, not through what you promise yourself, through repetition. The question isn't, who do I want to become? The question is, what am I repeatedly doing? Because eventually repetition becomes identity. Welcome to VICTORPATH. Point one, repetition creates identity. Repetition creates identity. Take a second to think about that. What you do becomes what you do over and over and over and over and over and over again eventually comes your identity, your mask, who you display to the world. Everything starts with actions. Actions become habits. Habits become patterns. And your patterns become identity. So it's kind of one of those things like if you look at a plant, you see a seed, and it's not like the seed directly becomes the tree. The seed has to sprout. The seed has to vegetate. Whatever different, forgive me, I'm not a plant expert. I probably shouldn't have used that analogy, but it goes through different stages before it becomes a tree. And to most, maybe just looking at it on the surface, you never to stop to think about each stage that it went through. You just see the tree and like, okay, you look, there's a tree, but it goes through stages, just like how uh so repetition doesn't directly become your identity. It goes through stages. Actions becomes habits, habits become patterns, and patterns become your identity. It goes through different stages. Example, going to the gym. If you go to the gym repeatedly, eventually it's going to become your identity. Writing books. If you write books, that's eventually going to become your identity. Learning martial arts. If you learn a form of martial arts, if you consistently go, it's going to eventually become a part of your identity. Building a business is something else that could become part of your identity. If you build a structure and you eventually get a scale in, you get the ball rolling, you got consistent clientele, your marketing is on point. There's repetition. There's things you got to do over and over and over and over again that people don't see to get the finished result. You become what you repeatedly practice. You become what you repeatedly practice. Point two, identity is earned through action. This is kind of dissecting a little bit more on point one. Repetition becomes identity. Point two, identity is earned through your action. So you can't say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. No. What are your actions? What are your actions? Many people want the identity before they do the work. You want the results, but what did you put in to get the results? You get on your knees and pray and beg God to give you this, beg God to give you that. But what did you do to earn that prayer that you're asking God for? Just because you believe? in your own perception that you're a good person, you're supposed to sit around and do nothing and sit around and play the victim and beg God to give you stuff. Many people, they want to be a writer. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to be a fighter. They want to be a leader. What are you putting in to become that? Are you just talking? Or are you walking, putting in the work? The difference between wanting to be a writer and writing consistently, and I can speak about this firsthand. Yeah, I wanted to be a writer, but I if actions speak louder than words. So I had to put in the work, and at first I sucked. At first I sucked. It's terrible. But there was something in me that always wanted to stick to storytelling. There's something about storytelling that's exciting, and it gives you power in a sense. Now you got to be careful of what you do with power when you have it, but I like the power of storytelling. So it wasn't talk, talk, talk. No, I put in the work for years, well over a decade, and I got more to come. I'm at the best. I'm at the best that I have ever been. I'm way better than when I started, and I'm only gonna get better. So, and that comes with writing consistently, even when I'm not, even when I wasn't making money off of it, to continue to do it because there was something inside of me. I got to be consistent with this. It could pay off. Identity is often earned before it's recognized. So you could earn your identity within, but people won't realize it. Even you might not realize it. That's why you got to be aware. You should recognize your identity, who you are. People might not recognize it because they saw you as what they saw you when they first met you and what you've been with the regular sample size, the regular sample of what you have given them. But it's okay to change. It's okay to improve and evolve. And when you improve and evolve, that might not connect with the people who were in your life anymore. And you don't got to move on in bad, uh, uh, with bad energy. Could be, you don't even have to make a big announcement. Just and maybe in due time you'll connect again. Who knows? But you know, it's important to know what your identity is. Know what your identity is. Know where you want to go, and don't force other people ideals of what they see upon you. You don't have to accept what they think about you. Create whatever your identity is. Recreate it with action. Point three: repetition compounds. Small actions seem insignificant, like all those days that I spent writing, researching, writing. A lot of time I didn't get nothing for it, but it compounds slowly over. It builds character, it builds discipline, it builds, and this is one of the key things about writing, what I love the most about writing, because you start off with a rough draft, and it's writing is the ultimate form of self-reflection because you start off with a rough draft and then, okay, this is the raw form of my ideas from brain to paper. Now I go over it and see my imperfections. This is what you should do in your own personal life. You do something, boom, this is raw. Now take a step back, go over it, see where I was wrong, see where I can improve, see where the whole if the is the whole concept making sense. And it's like writing is one of the main things that made me want to look within and see where I could do better. Because if you want to be a great writer, you're not going to get it on the first try. It's a rough draft. You have to see, you have to get from what's in here to what's there. And then when you get it there, it's like a sculpture. Okay, you cut here, you fix there, you fix there. One workout, one chapter, one sales call, one healthy meal, one day of discipline. Repetition compounds. Repetition, not just one day, repetition. So if you want to see financial growth, it's not just going to be winning the lotto or or one day spending properly. No, repetition. If you want fitness results, it's not going to be one day going to the gym and doing the most insane workout. No, it's repetition. It's better to do one insane workout than do multiple small workouts. Publishing, with my publishing, it's been years on the making. It's not one day I said I'm going to start a publishing company. No, I started out like in the idea, like in my ability to be a creative writer. I just like using my imagination, creating storylines and characters. I think it was Jekyll and Hyde was the book that I read. It was like I could write my own books. I could write my own books. I could do something like this. Your relationships. It's just not um if you want growth in your relationship, it's not just gonna be doing one thing, good thing. You have to consistently do things to each other that help each other. It's not just gonna be one day. Oh, I did this for you one day. That's it. No, we need consistency. Transformation hides inside of consistency. Transformation hides inside of consistency. Point four, every repetition is a cast-in vote. Think about that. Every repetition is a cast-in vote. I think in the United States, they make voting way too easy. Voting is way too easy. And if now where I'm at, which kind of sounds bad because it's like Monday night quarterbacking in a sense because it's like okay, now I'm here, now I'm saying it. But um, I think it's way too easy, and I think if like how strict I think voting should be in this country, I probably wouldn't be able to vote up until probably like maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. I think you need to have some stake in the game. I don't think you should just be you vote because you're an American citizen. No, it's way too important. And just like to vote to what your identity is. You don't allow other people to determine what your identity is. Your repetition votes to cast the vote. So you decide what you do. You don't allow them to decide what you're going to do. Now, in certain contexts, when you're at work, you're getting paid for your work. You, in a sense, you do have to do what they want you to do, your employer. But taking a step back, looking at the bigger picture, it should be on a path. It should be a stepping stone to where you want to be in life. This is not the end result. You don't have to follow them long term. This is just short term for now until you gain enough stability right here. Until now, you could, okay, I could grow now. I could expand. And then based on expansion, you determine what direction you're going to go. But your job currently shouldn't be, especially like where it's going now, your economy, the government is going now. Your employer should be a stepping stone to some kind of self-employment, small business, ultimately into a big business, ultimately into investing. Every repetition is a cast and vote. Every action reinforces something. Each action is a vote for discipline, confidence, courage, health, and focus. Or, or it could be procrastination is casting a vote. It could be avoidance is casting a vote. It could be excuses are casting your vote. It could be distractions is casting your vote. What do you want to cast your vote? What do you want to cast your vote of who you are? What repetitions? This is very important what I'm about to say. I want you to put in your thinking cap at www.thoughtprovoking.space. Think about what I'm about to say. You are always becoming something. You are always becoming something. So to become something of true value, your repetitions have to be of substance. It can't be procrastination, avoidance, excuses, distractions. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get to where you need to be. Point five, bad repetition creates identity. Just what we said, bad repetition, procrastination, avoidance, excuses, distractions. The principle works both ways. It gets deeper. You could talk about, we already talked about avoidance, negative self-talk. It's okay to to be honest with yourself, but don't beat down upon yourself. You're only human being. So that's not an excuse to make bad decisions and play the victim. But yes, be honest with yourself, but don't beat up on yourself. Don't beat up on yourself. Use that energy to make better decisions. Doom scrolling, social media, unhealthy habits. I mean, we all got unhealthy habits to a degree. So we just have to minimize them. And if you're strong enough, just eliminate them. At least minimize them. Minimize your bad, unhealthy habits. Making excuses. Don't make excuses. It's not going to help you. I'm not going to stop you, but it's not going to help you. There's too many people making excuses. It's not helpful. Self accountability, self reflection, move forward. The brain doesn't care whether repetition is positive or negative. It only recognizes patterns. So the brain is kind of neutral. Whatever patterns it recognizes, that's going to be its identity. Point six, motivation is unreliable. I spoke about the hierarchy of purpose. Motivation is at the bottom. Discipline is in the middle. Sacrifice is at the top. Motivation is unreliable. Now you could use it, but it's not something that you should rely on. Discipline is far more reliable, but with discipline, sometimes you could fail to overlook what you need to let go of to get to that next level. That's where sacrifice comes into place. What are you going to let go of? What are you going to give up to lock in and get to that next level? Motivation is unreliable. Many people wait until they feel inspired. Motivation comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes. It's like something else, like other things. They come and they go. True athletes train when they're tired. Writers write uninspired. I mean, entrepreneurs work through uncertainty. I could speak, attest to all of this. I train multiple times a week when I'm tired, doing martial arts. Multiple times a week I'm tired, and I push through it because it's beyond the motivation. It's beyond discipline. It's sacrifice to be in tip-top shape, be in fighting shape. Writers write inspired, uninspired. A lot of times I'm not inspired. Most of the times I'm not inspired when I write. But I had this idea, this concept that I know it's going to take time to develop, but I'm going to develop it to the end. No matter how many times I have to go over this manuscript, I'm going to develop it to an end that is entertaining and compelling to a wide range of audience, like to help them. It's not just about selling, it's to help open the eyes of people. Entrepreneurship, working through uncertainty. Many of the building years is like a tree. You don't see the roots. You don't see the roots. That's the beginning of your journey as an entrepreneur. They don't see the roots, but eventually, small little sprout, based off of that sprout, grows a tree, branches, leaves, big, beautiful, built upon the years of what they didn't see you building, doing. Identity is built more by discipline than motivation. Identity is built more by discipline and motivation, but even discipline is limited because all of that focuses on what you have to do, what you have to do. Think about if you want the perfect chiseled body. A lot of people just think about lifting weights, gaining more muscle, uh, probably taking some steroids, whatever, supplements. But okay, you're disciplined, you're motivated, you're disciplined. But to get like the true cut definitions, you have to cut. You have to cut some weight, fat, most likely weight. So you gotta sharpen your diet up. You have to eat less, possibly, because a lot of the muscles show a lot of the time when you cut weight. Most of the time when you cut weight, yeah, some people they bulk up and get big, you know, like a lot of performance enhancements, but most of the times it's cutting weight, sharpening your diet, sh- uh, shedding fat, especially around your midsection. Point seven, the future is hidden in today's actions. The future is hidden in today's actions. Do you want to predict the future? Look at your repetitions. That's the best predictor of the future, your repetition, what you repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again, no matter what the outside does or says. That more than likely is going to predict your future. Current habits predict future outcomes. So ask yourself, what am I repeating? What am I reinforcing? What identity am I building? Tomorrow is built on today. Tomorrow is built on today. With that said, one lesson I learned while writing Fairytale of a Love Monster and In Love with the Chimera is that books are not finished through inspiration. They're finished through repetition. One page, one chapter, one revision, repeated over and over again. Eventually, a manuscript emerges. That same principle applies to every area of life. The person you become is the result of repeated choices. Most people are waiting for a breakthrough, but breakthroughs are usually the result of repetition. The identity you want isn't found, it's built action by action, habit by habit, day by day, because ultimately you become what you repeatedly do. Think critically, question assumptions, choose directions. If you found value in today's discussion, like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in stories that explore identity, obsession, and transformation, check out Fairy Tale of a Love Monster and In Love with the Chimera, available on Amazon.